is a news show.
Sup Nation, hope you are having an awesome Tuesday. My name is Philip DeFranco and behind me is day one of CES. And before we talk about things, people shuffling in even though they are hungover, I wanted to thank our buddies over at Ford for sponsoring today's show, powering the show, also giving me back rubs. Thank you very much for that. But rather than jumping into everything CES, let's talk about the first story of the day. And Nation, the first thing I have to talk about today is Dean Kamen. Now if the name kind of vaguely sounds familiar, he is the inventor of the Segway, that thing that we all use when we go on tours of places and are lazy and think that it's cool to spend lots of money. But the reason I'm talking about Dean today is he filed a patent that it's the most American patent I have ever heard. I say that as a proud American. It's a patent for this. The patent report says, the present invention is directed to an apparatus and method for treating obesity. Okay, so like what? Like the lap band or stomach stapling where it makes it so you like don't want to eat that much? No, because then you wouldn't be able to eat all the good food. It is literally a tube that goes into your stomach and then 20 minutes after it pumps the food out of your stomach. So you can treat obesity while not treating your addiction to food, making up for all of the bad emotions that you feel. That was probably a bit personal about myself. But main point, it's not just an idea. They've actually done preliminary trials. They said they took this woman that was 220 pounds, and after 59 weeks with no other changes in her lifestyle, she lost 89 pounds. And here's the thing, you guys know, like, this me is a much smaller, thinner version of my past self. I'm all for people losing weight, being healthy, but allowing people to continue eating way too much food. This is essentially medically assisted bulimia. But Nation, what do you think? Are you like, no, Phil, you're insane. Like, it would be amazing if all I could eat were donuts and Cheetos and drink Mountain Dew all day. Also, a side note to the 1% of you that do eat like that and are skinny, I hate your face, and go back to loving it, then go back to hating it, and loving it. Or do you agree with me that it is all sorts of messed up? Let me know in the comments down below. And then next up, let's talk about sports. Now, I don't normally talk about sports because it's the easiest way to get everyone to hate me all at once for the worst reason ever, but I have to mention the Alabama-Notre Dame BCS championship game last night. Because one, I hate myself for not taking that bet, but I was like, well, there's a 10-point spread. What if Rudy shows up? Turns out he was too busy giving handies in the Shire. It's the same actor, if you didn't know, Lord of the Rings. Anyway. But two, even though Notre Dame was destroyed last night, the real winners were everyone that saw AJ McCarron's girlfriend. And that is how sports takes you to Sexy Time News, courtesy of Catherine Webb. She's AJ McCarron's girlfriend, Miss Alabama 2012, and despite her stance that evolution is not a thing that actually exists, even though her body is 100% proof that evolution is fantastic, we have to appreciate it. Even Darnell Dockett from the Arizona Cardinals appreciated it. Because last night, while Catherine's boyfriend was crushing some Irish, he was like, I'm gonna hit her up on Twitter. And he tweeted, hey, Catherine Webb, hit me up. Insert phone number. When game over, let's go Wingstop, then King of Diamond. Which if you do not know what those two things are, one, Wingstop, fantastic place for wings. He has very good taste. And then two, King of Diamond is a Miami strip club, which is literally, he's like, ayo girl, after we get done watching your boyfriend play football, let's go get some wings and see some titties. It usually works like every time. The main point to the story, hot wings and hot girls are a good time. That's half the reason I'm really here. Then let's jump to the crazy story around a guy by the name of Raj Khan. Khan was a 46-year-old guy. He owned several dry cleaners. He played the lottery, and then boom, Khan won $1 million in the Illinois lottery. When he won, he said, I won the million, I won the million. And he seemed like he was a good guy. He gave the guy at the register a $100 tip. Khan said he planned to take what was after taxes $425,000 and donate a good amount of it. But that's when the happy story ends and the mystery novel Hardy Boys on Acid thing happens. So Khan goes through the steps, he gets his oversized check, he shakes some hands, he's gonna do some good, and then several days later, he's dead. Authorities initially saying natural causes, there was no sign of trauma, but after Khan's relatives were like, the timing of this just doesn't make sense, they asked for an expanded screening. And now 6 months after, they found out Khan died of ingesting cyanide. Stephen Cena, the Cook County medical examiner, said, it's pretty unusual. I've had 1, maybe 2 cases of cyanide poisonings out of 4,500 autopsies I've done. So now the Chicago police have launched a homicide investigation, they're exhuming his body, and what about the money? Well, the check was cashed August 15, 3 weeks after Khan died, presumably by a relative. But I guess the main point, this is kind of why I sometimes hate humanity. It's like this seemingly good guy, this great thing happens to him, but when you inject that much change, that much potential, that much awesome, like that much money into something, you do see like all the bad things that have happened to people that win the lottery. Like if I won the lottery today, I can think of several people who would just come out of the woodwork like, hey buddy, wanna be friends? No, I'm gonna sue you or kill you with cyanide. That's the main point. Never trust anyone ever at any time because all people are evil and will kill you. And they might be doing it right now. Or not in any way. You shouldn't, maybe, you never know. And then of course, Nation, I'm at CES. I have to talk about the awesome stuff I've been able to get my hands on. Last night we got a bunch of previews. But honestly, my CES 2013 saw a lot of this is kind of a lot of the same that I've seen. I did run into Rev Run and I talked to the Simmons family for a bit. That was pretty cool. I messed around with the Fitbit because I find it interesting when people try and mix tech with actually keeping healthy. But the things that I did get hands-on that I love, one, as expected, the 27-inch table PC from Lenovo. It is awesome. This awesome gentleman, Sam, was actually part of the nation, which I was like, yeah, you're the best, which completely went away because then he destroyed me in a game of air hockey. Sam, you're like my favorite person I've met today.
I love your show. I couldn't show it to my mom, but I love your show.
Well, it is a fully functioning PC, Windows 8, like real deal. That computer right now, I know that when it comes out, I am going to buy it. Like, screw coffee table books. I'm literally gonna use it as a computer, but then like, it's just a family game sort of thing. I think it's I love it. Does it have a huge market? Maybe not now that everyone's gonna make a lot less money each year and might not be able to afford it. It's got like a $1,200 to $1,700 price tag, but I want it. And easily the best thing I have seen here at CES so far is Oculus 3D. I had never heard of Oculus 3D. I never saw anything from the company. I hate virtual reality. One of my first experiences with VR, I went to like an arcade. It was like a $5 game. You get in this thing, you play a mech suit. It looked terrible and it was done in like 90 seconds. But these guys in this small company, the product is the most, it looks like it was made by high school and college students. It looks like a pair of ski goggles, gaffer tape, a random HDMI port, and it just go into all these things. But it was beautiful. It was easily the best virtual reality experience I ever had. It was so crisp because they were using the Unreal Engine that it gave you a sense of 3D, and I think yesterday I saw the future of gaming. When you move your head around, you actually see the world around you as you would see it if you were the character in the game. I could also see if there was like a toggle switch that would lock it so that when you do use a controller, you can actually, move it like a regular character. That would be awesome for any first-person type of game. But I kind of hate that my favorite thing at CES so far is something that I can only describe and you can't see how awesome it is. Actually, to get across how amazing it was, here is my friend Trisha just testing it out for the first time.
Like that fruit? Oh man, that's so weird. Oh, now I'll pick somebody, I think. Ah! That's so weird. Alright. Oh boy, if he punches me, I might crap myself.
But guys, that's everything I want to talk about today, and it brings us to the question of the day today, which is, if you won the lottery, what would you do in that first week? Hopefully not dying of cyanide poisoning. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. But remember, all of this was made possible by Ford and Sync App Link, which allows you to stay connected to your devices while you keep your eyes on the road. That's where you can get voice navigation directions, voice-activated climate control, and Trisha's favorite, even access NPR's public radio app. Thanks again to Ford for powering today's show, and of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.